Hello and welcome to Adam's Music Box, where it's been a difficult week that just keeps getting more difficult for anyone who loves music and culture, and for anyone who's been affected by the nostalgia of seeing some of the great figures of the last sort of 50 or so years say goodbye. And today I was shocked that just a few days after we said goodbye to the legend that is, or was, and always will be, Ozzy Osbourne, we now have to say goodbye to the legendary Hulk Hogan. Now, Hulk Hogan was unquestionably a major cultural icon who I consider an inspirational figure, an interesting figure, someone who made people smile, but there is a musical connection and a big one because the shot for the stills from this music video behind me has become a major meme. But most of you out there, at least, well, I think most people watching this channel will know that the great Rick Derringer, who again we lost only a few months ago, was someone who is implicitly linked with Hulk Hogan. Now, the image behind me is for the music video of Real American, Hulk Hogan's theme song for much of his glory days in the ring. And this was, of course, written by his friend Rick Derringer. And it is one hell of a song. It encapsulates so much about sort of the final 20 years of the 20th century. It was written in the midst of the final period of the Cold War, the Reagan era. People were becoming flag waving again. People wanted to smile again after Vietnam and Watergate and the oil crisis. And what better way to do it than rock and roll music, that great sort of AOR hard rock feel, and pro wrestling? It just doesn't get more 80s than that. It doesn't get more optimistic than that. It doesn't get much more fun than that. And in a broad sense, pro wrestling is really interesting in that it's where art and sports meet. And of course, there is always an art within sports. The decisions made, whether on a football field, or when playing basketball or on the baseball diamond, any sport, especially martial arts. The clue is in the name. There's an artistic element to it. And pro wrestling really unabashedly brought so many things together. It was sort of theater meets opera, meets rock concert, meets, martial arts, all wrapped up into, one huge event that people love to this day. And when that song Real American would play and Hulk would make his entrance, it was just something that everyone could relate to. And it was a great song on its own merits. Rick Derringer has always been a wonderful songwriter, a great producer, someone who really knows how to craft a great hit song. And he did so across so many different styles of rock music and for so many decades. It all began with Hang On Sloopy. And so you could say that Hulk Hogan and Rick Derringer today are reunited, not in the way that we would have hoped, but still, I guess there's that bittersweet ending to what's been, a summer and even beyond that, a 2025 of a lot of legends leaving. But for Hulk Hogan to die within months of Rick Derringer and then in the same week as Ozzy Osbourne, it all kind of hits hard. But crank up Rick Derringer's Real American, listen to it loud, pretend it's 1985 again. Wrestling is taking the world by storm. Heavy AOR style rock is all the rage. And, let's live a little. As always, we'll see you next time. Take care.